Hello, fellow equestrians. I know it's weird. I still haven't figured out my intro yet, but I guess we'll just roll with it for now. So recently I've been thinking, what do I want to do with my life, and how am I gonna carry it out, and do I want to go like professionally into horses, or what do I want to do? So I think that because someone owns a horse or they love riding or whatever, that they automatically assume that that person wants to go professionally into horses and like spend their life on a horse, but that's not always true, and I've kind of had to like reassess it and kind of really think about what I want to do. This is my millionth time filming this, so if I mess up, we'll just go with it. But I just like, I feel like, sorry I keep saying like, but I feel like every 4 or 5 years you should kind of reassess your priorities and kind of see, do I really want to do this or whatever. And I know I'm kind of just a little girl, I'm a long way off from college, but I feel like it's never too early to start planning your life and kind of figuring out what you want to do with it. So I'm pretty sure I want to be a horse person, but I'm not sure, and I don't want to be one of those people that goes to college and then they still don't know what they want to do 2 years into college. But I feel like as an equestrian, being an equestrian and being with horses has kind of limited me to other passions, because I have put all of myself into these horses. I have put all of my time, all of my energy, all of my passion, all of me into these horses. So it's kind of stopped me from getting into other sports or hobbies or stuff like that. That's why I feel like taking 1 to 2 weeks off every 3 or 4 or 5 years to just kind of reassess. What do I want to do? What do I want to spend my life doing? What am I okay just keeping as a hobby? And what do I want to really bring myself up to and really build on myself? So, even if I don't decide to go professionally into horses, I will always love horses. I will always, if I have a horse, I will never sell them for another profession, or I will always keep them. I will always take care of them. I will always be riding. I will always love horses. That doesn't change a thing. So I know a lot of equestrians have also been getting kind of hate and shame on makeup. So this is not like a response video or anything, but Raleigh Link 14, she was kind of saying that she was kind of getting some hate and some like shade for posting about her makeup and like artsy pictures of her doing stuff other than riding. And I think it is ridiculous. I agree with her completely. I believe that just because you're an equestrian does not mean that you have to look like a slob all the time. You can go ride horses and rock that horse and love what you're doing, but you can come home, shower, do your hair up all nice, strap some heels on, get yourself in a nice dress, and go out and do whatever you want. Go out and look pretty. Go out and look fancy. You can be an equestrian and go home and shower and then just leave your hair matted to your head and do whatever. That is completely fine. I don't think that just because you're equestrian means that you have to be a slob all the time. I think that's ridiculous. Me personally, I'm not super big into makeup and fashion and whatever, but just because you're an equestrian does not mean that you can't be into fashion and beauty and whatever. Just because you're an equestrian doesn't mean you can't be a beauty guru or fashion guru or have another YouTube channel about fashion and beauty. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And as you can see, my room is decorated with horses all the way, but just because you have a horse or you ride horses does not mean that your room needs to be decorated like horses. Your room can be as plain or as elegant or as simple or as horsey or as non-horsey as you want. It doesn't matter. Just because you do one thing does not mean that you need to follow these standards. And I don't think that anyone would be a good person if they judge someone. Just because someone's a gymnast doesn't mean they need to have the trampolines or bars or whatever in their room. Doesn't mean they need to be doing it constantly. Doesn't mean that they can't ride a horse too. And I am not very good at like going on and on and on and kind of keeping the video going and flowing, but I think it's ridiculous that equestrians have to conform to the standard of being a slob all the time, just because they sit on a horse. So that's kind of my view on the thing. I really agree with Raleigh and kind of what she believes. So yeah, but the next kind of topic that I wanted to talk about, that I'm pretty sure I'm going to call this video about, is when you outgrow your horse. So I also forgot to mention in my last video that it's okay to sell a horse if you are like, if you absolutely need to in an emergency, if you're having a life crisis, or you financially, it is not possible. It is financially impossible to own a horse or keep riding or whatever. And I'm pretty sure you just saw that thing fall. I'm sorry, but I think that that is completely fine. But next, let's talk about outgrowing your horse. So this is actually, I'm kind of sensitive about this because Spice, like I mentioned, well, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in my video where you guys met Spice, but he's 14'1", and I'm like 4'9", I think. So I'm already taller than him at the wither, and I talked with my parents about this last night, but I mean, in 1 to 2 years, I could outgrow him, and I don't really believe in outgrowing horses, but I do believe that it would be unfair to the horse if you were 300 pounds and you were riding an 800-pound horse. I believe that that would be completely unfair to the horse. And Spice is my main horse. I really don't ride any other horses, and that is one of the downsides of owning a horse, where most of the time when you own a horse, you don't get much exposure to other horses, so you kind of get used to that. So Spice is kind of sensitive, so I'm really not used to having to kick a horse really hard to get them to move or whatever. That's why I feel like, honestly, being a lesson kid is a lot better than owning a horse in that aspect. But since Spice is the main horse I ride him every 4 times a week, on average, and I work him really hard. I show him, I do whatever. So I feel like once I get to a certain point where I'm, because obviously I'm still growing, so once I get taller and heavier, I feel like it would really be unfair to Spice for me to ride him 4 times a week, and he's only about 800 pounds. I haven't gotten him like officially weighed, but that is our best guesstimate on that. But it would get to the point where it's really unfair for him to be carrying me around and doing whatever. But we might be leasing him out, and oh my god, it kills me to say this, but if we find that right kid that's just perfect for him and they're perfect for each other, just like I was perfect for Spice and I am perfect for Spice, we might sell him. And it kills me to say that, but it's true, and I don't feel like it'd be fair to Spice if I got too big for him and he had to carry me around, or it wouldn't be fair to Spice if I got too big for him and then I never rode him, he never got exercise, anything like that. So it's hard to say this, and I know people that have gone through this will know that it is hard to accept it and kind of realize it, but I think that, like, it's a reality, and if it's unfair to the horse for you to be riding them, and it's unfair to the horse for you to not ride them, I feel like that might be a point where it is okay to lease out or sell your horse. Keep in mind it will be changing the world, but I do feel that. So the next thing is kind of like growing your business and doing stuff like that. That's why I feel like at this point in my career, or my equestrian career, I feel like it's really important for me to reassess my priorities in the equestrian world, not just do I want to professionally like go into horses, but it's important for me to reestablish like what are my priorities? Like, would I rather go to a show or shadow a vet? And that's kind of one of the things I've been thinking about. So as of right now, I'm pretty sure I want to be shadowing a vet, because I'm like, would I rather go to a show, spend my weekend at a show to win a pretty ribbon, or would I rather go to like shadow a vet and get that experience and knowledge and stuff like that? So I have to reassess and kind of think, like, do I want to do that? Do I want to do this instead? And I am going into middle school, so I have to be juggling more homework, more schoolwork, stuff like that with with horses and my animals at home, my 2 dogs, and like moving and all of that. It's just going to be really crazy, but I mean, I feel like it's gonna work out some way or another. And I mean, you can't rely on the phrase "it's gonna work out," but yeah, so that's my video. I have to kind of end it short. I'm going on 13 minutes and I really don't want to go over, but thank you guys so much for watching. It really has been driving me crazy when it goes like this, so I've decided to kind of try it out and see how it works. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please spread the word, help the horse, and I'll be trying to upload more often. Thank you guys. Bye.